Well, my co-host is not here today. He saw some fireworks. He passed out from the shock and horror. So he should be back Wednesday. In the meantime, I am Zero the Hero, and this is in the Key Demos Wrestling Reviews, and I'm going to review Ring of Honor. First off, good show. I would recommend you watch it, at least today's episode. It started off with a Kenny King promo, and then a Rush promo. Decent promos. Up until I don't know if it really is Rush's father, but he came out in the background and he had some crow makeup. It just looked amateurish. Like he had the black teardrops but no white on, so he looked like a mime. I don't know. It just looked awful. So that leads off into the first match, which had some pre-match promos. So pretty cool to see that. This is why I love Ring of Honor. Josh Woods, smooth talker. He has confidence. He looks like a beast. The problem was he didn't speak like a beast. So he kept saying he beat Jay Lethal, he beat so and so, he beat the Castle guy that he's gonna face. The thing was he had no aggression. He had no conviction. It's like he was very kindly just saying, I beat up all these guys up. I'm going to beat up Castle. It doesn't come off as serious. Apparently, I think he may be an MMA guy. I'm not really sure what field he was in previously. But with that said, it goes off into the Castle promo. Horrible. Freaking horrible. Not as bad as other promos, but for Ring of Honor's sake, it lacked. It went too long. I don't know what he was saying because he kept repeating himself over and over. The highlight was definitely his jacket. He had some kind of scales on the jacket and it looked very colorful. He looked like a fish. Like a very colorful fish. And like a fish, they're not comfortable outside of water. He looked uncomfortable as he kept promoing. So with that said, the match starts. Josh Woods comes out and Castle does too. It starts off kind of slow for a bit. It picks up. Overall, good match. I can see that Woods is still slightly green, so he tries to cover it up. Now, this is a problem I had with the match. So, Woods knows that Castle has a broken back or he has back issues. So, he tries to honor that, right? It's understandable. As a good guy, you should, have some sympathy. I don't know if Castle really is a heel just yet at this point because I've never really seen both guys. Up until the points when you see Castle drag Woods outside the ring and he tosses him outside the ring. That's not a babyface move. That's a heel move. He's going up against the whole honor thing. It's a pure rules match. So he's being a heel. So if you're Woods, I understand you have sympathy for a person if their back is broken. But Castle was treating him like shit. He was treating him like crap. So when Castle stops midway in the match saying, oh, my back, Woods actually shows sympathy, despite the fact that Castle kind of broke the rules a little bit and disrespected Woods. Then, of course, Woods was like, oh, you okay, man? And then here comes the roll up and he loses. This, I understand what they were trying to do, but they could have executed it, in my opinion, better because that really made Woods look really, really dumb. Then, of course, the post-match. So here comes, I don't know his name. I believe his name is Silas. He comes out. He's a grizzled veteran. And he basically says what I said, that he looked dumb in the ring when he gave sympathy to his opponent. So apparently they're going to be in a tag team, which I think it's fine. So Woods will learn from a vet. He'll learn how to promo because that promo is actually pretty damn legit. I like that promo. So Woods has a lot of potential. He's confident. He just needs to work on his in-ring a little bit more. and his promos need more aggression. This guy is freaking jacked, and he's talking like a nerd. So he needs to step his promo game up just a tad bit more with more intensity. Castle, I'm not impressed by this guy. At this point, I kind of hoped he would have lost, so he would leave Ring of Honor and bring somebody else who's decent. But with that said, now it's the main event between Jay Lethal, Jay Briscoe, Matt Taven, which I've never seen before, and who's the other guy? EC3. So EC3 comes in, then they show his promo. I'm not saying I don't like his serious side, but it's hard to go past that when in TNA he was basically an MJF character, a chicken shit heel. So, and also in WWE, I saw in highlights how he was presented, and he was a joke. So I understand he's trying to repackage himself and be more serious, and he's a heel, so it kind of fits perfectly. But I still need to see more from him. Then it goes to a Jay Lethal promo. A good promo, very good promo. He puts over his own faction, and he's already talking about La Facción, saying how they're a bunch of pieces of shits. So pretty good promo. And then it's Matt Taven. So Matt Taven, when I saw this guy in his promo, I thought he looks like an indie guy, and I'll touch on that in a bit. His promo was just bland. It was okay, but bland, just like a typical baby face. I've been through a lot. I'm gonna overcome. It's been done. I don't care. It's bland. Whatever. Jay Briscoe. So this is my third time seeing the Briscoe brothers. Something about these guys that they have a certain charisma, and the way they speak, their personas, something I cannot stop watching. I cannot stop listening. And despite the fact that they look like bums, they legit look like they're from the streets, and they got sunburn and just look like complete shit. But whether that's good or bad, I can't keep my eyes off of them. So I guess you could say it's good. But so yeah, the match starts with a handshake out of respect, out of honor. Each man shakes hands, even EC3. And then here comes Jay Briscoe saying, fuck that, fuck you, I'm going to fuck you up. And the match starts. And it goes straight to EC3 and Briscoe fighting outside the ring. So I kind of like that show of respect, and So then it went off into a pretty decent wrestling match. The Matt Taven spots, I didn't like his spots. Obviously, the other three men, they can wrestle. Then here comes EC3 mounting Jay Briscoe. So another nitpicking criticism here. He mounts Briscoe and he's busting a Stone Cold. So you know how Stone Cold kind of just punches the air? He was doing that to Jay Briscoe. He was covered up. It didn't look like his punches were connecting. So that kind of threw me off a little bit. But obviously it was good to see that heel tactic, that aggression. And then obviously you had EC3 at one point grab Jay Briscoe by the hair, and tell Jay Lethal, kick him in the face. And of course Jay Lethal, the good guy he is, he punches EC3. So it was good heel tactics. I wish I would have seen more, because it was three baby faces. So EC3 should have shined here for sure, but he didn't for the most part. But I mean, that said, the triple powerbomb spot. So yes, we had one of those spots here. I don't like this spot, but in this case, it worked really well. I didn't like the fact that the babyface took it. Like I said, it's three baby faces. So Matt Taven was on the ring post. Then you had Jay Lethal and Jay Briscoe pushing each other, not punching each other, just pushing each other out the way. So a sign of respect. And then at one point they're like, man, the fuck's your problem? And they both decide, okay, let's just double suplex him. So I like that spot. They kind of told a story, and the spot wasn't as choreographed or phony. Then here comes EC3 being the heel, and then he picks all of them up. So yeah, like I said, I don't like that spot normally, but in this case, it worked. I liked it a lot. Now, I did notice one thing. I noticed throughout the whole program, not one tope suicida. So I wrote in my notes. I wrote, "Wow, no tope suicidas. Good job." Up right when I wrote that down, here comes Matt Taven doing a fucking tope suicida. And I wanted to rip my notes cornet style so bad. Because just one time is all I ask for. One time where I don't see a tope suicida. So I had to let that out. Then there was a spot after the quadruple, triple powerbomb. I'm not sure what it's called, but EC3 had Jay Lethal, and I think he had him in submission, or he was trying to powerbomb him or superplex him. I'm not sure, but Jay Briscoe was outside the ring. He was eyeing EC3 with, obviously he hates EC3, and EC3 has a thing against Jay Briscoe. Normally, when two guys have heat, they can't wait to, beat each other up. But in this case, Jay Briscoe was kind of stalking him, and he was waiting for his right moment, even though EC3 knew it. That to me was a nice touch. I've never seen that before. So when the time came, here comes Jay Briscoe, and he cheap shots EC3. They go outside the ring, they brawl, then EC3 runs like a coward, which it should work because he is a heel. So they never return. This is where I tuned out. Here comes the wannabe Wyatt family stable, and here comes Von Starr. It was just her, but she comes out of nowhere, and she interrupts the match. Not really interfering, just kind of distracting Matt Taven. I knew that was how the match was going to end. Obviously, if you're a wrestling fan, you've seen it a million times. Jay Lethal picks up the win. And yeah, so coming out of this, I like the match up until that ending. I don't like Matt Taven, but I will say this about him. At the end, you never see this in other promotions. Or if you do, it's very, very rare. So normally when a guy loses, they're like up against the ropes or outside thinking, oh crap, I just lost. And they kind of drag themselves out the ring towards the back immediately. Matt Taven, he goes up to Jay Lethal saying, "That's not right. You know it's not right. If you beat Rush, you owe me a title match." And they shook on it. Sign of respect between two baby faces. That was a nice touch. Despite the fact I don't like Matt Taven's style, that was pretty cool. So with that said, overall, out of 4 stars, since I'm gonna copy Dave Meltzer, I give that a 3.25. If not for that ending, I probably would have gave it 3.5. It was a pretty good show. Just, what stopped it was the promos from the first match between Woods and Castle. Both promos pretty much were average or subpar. And obviously that ending was just crap. I hated it. But with that said, next week, 4 matches. So I'm surprised to see 4 matches on the card. The ones that interest me are Yehai. I've seen him once. He has potential. And it's going to be a pure rules match. So that should be fun to watch. The other 2, I don't know who they are. To me, they seem like indie guys. I may be wrong. Oh, Tony Deppen. I've seen him. He's okay. So the last match in that card was Flip Gordon against some luchador. I don't care for luchadors, but I've yet to see Flip Gordon. I know that he's one of their top stars. So I'm excited to see my first match of him. And overall, yeah. So like I said, that's my impression of the show. My co-host is not here, so I can't say we're. So I am Zero the Hero, and this is In the Key Demos Wrestling Review. And I'll see you on the next one.